Hello everyone. Today, me and my friend try to present a review the idea of good manufacturing practice for cosmetic. This is based on a reference from Indonesian Public. The reference is the decrees of the head of the Drugs and Food Supervisory Agency in the Republic of Indonesia. Over here, you can see my teams consist of me, Atika, Brisna, Nanda, and Krishna. So the idea, or what is called in here is CPKB, is meaning basically in English, good manufacturing practices for the cosmetics. So where it comes for our what is serving for. Basically, the guideline over here is for good manufacturing practices in Indonesia called Pembuatan Kosmetik yang Baik in Indonesia. So it's crucial for ensuring that the cosmetic products in here are meet the qualities that we are protections. At the same time, we need to make sure that its safety is following the safety standard. For the CPKB in here is implemented to ensure that manufacturing process are following a controlled process from the raw material as the first step to the last one, which is the packaging. And this regulation is essential to provide consumers with a safe and high quality cosmetics, and at the same time helping Indonesia cosmetic protections to compete in both domestic and international markets as they are getting developed. Now, when it's come to the general professions for these guidelines, there's four things we have to make sure of it. Is the quality management system, which is basically mean that we have to must establish a robust systems with a clear organizations, responsibility, producers, and control for all protections aspects. So from the first until the end, we have to make this quality management system. The second thing you have is the internal audit, and which later will be explained, which is basically regular audits must be performed to be ensured that our CPKB complies with the corrective actions implemented needed. And the third one is the documentation process. The documentation is very important and crucial why we are doing during the productions, and prepared documentation must be maintained to track every production steps to ensure that it can be trackable, at the same time compliance with the standard. And the last things we have is the facility and equipment. So all facilities that we have, we should be properly designed, should be equipped, and it should be maintained all the time to avoid any problems with the contamination as well, for examples, and the facility should be effectively manufacturing practices. That's all from me, and let's go with Nanda. Thank you.
Today, I will talk about the personal requirement. This personal requirement have a lot of things that we need to know. For the first thing is the knowledge and skills. So the personnel must have a relevant knowledge and also the experience for their assigned tasks. And also they should possess the necessary skill and capability to perform their functions effectively. And the second one is the organizational structure. So we need on the production and the quality control department, it should be led by disparate individuals. And for the responsibility between this department must not overlap to ensure the clear accountabilities. And the third thing is training. So in the personal requirement, the training have the continuous training, which is all the personnel involved in manufacturing must receive the ongoing training in good manufacturing practice. And also in this training, it's focused on the hazard. It's like a special emphasis should be placed on the training those handling hazardous materials to ensure the safety and compliance. And the fourth one is the health and hygiene. So the personnel must be in good health and capable of the handling assigned duties, practicing personal hygiene, and wearing appropriate protective equipment. Next. For the next slide. Okay, for the building and facilities, we have three points in here. But the first point is the location and the design. So building must be in a suitable location, design and constructed and maintained according to regulation. And also, is to effective measures are necessary to prevent contamination from the environment and pests. The second point is designated area. A specific area should be allocated for various functions, including material reception, processing, storage, and quality control. And also, this designated area have a function like a physical barriers. And this physical barrier should be used to prevent mixing of the materials. And the third point is facility specification. This facility specification have need to have a surface should be smooth and easy to clean, and proper drainage, lighting, and ventilation are really essential in here. And also, laboratory should be physically separated from the production area.
Okay, next to the equipment requirements. For the equipment requirements, there are 3 points. For the first point, design, second, installation and placement, and the third, maintenance. For the design, equipment must be designed to prevent the adverse effect on the product with surfaces that do not react or absorb with materials. It should be easy to clean and, when necessary, exclusion proof. For the second point, installation placement, equipment must be placed to avoid obstructing production flow and clearly marked to prevent mix-ups. Support system must function properly and be identifiable. And the last point is maintenance. Regular maintenance and calibration of equipment are required with detailed cleaning and instructions visibly placed. For the sanitation and hygiene, first, personal hygiene. All personnel must practice personal hygiene and wear appropriate work attire. Direct contact with materials or products should be avoided to prevent contamination. For the facility cleanliness, buildings must have proper sanitation facilities and waste should be regularly collected and disposed of. Equipment and supplies must be kept clean with standard operating procedures for cleaning and sanitizing. And for the health monitoring, personnel must be in good health with regular checkups conducted. Those with contagious illness or conditions that might affect product quality are not allowed to handle materials or products.
And then for the production process, there are 4 things here. The first one is the starting materials, weighing and measurement, processing and packaging and labeling. For the starting materials, all materials including water must be verified, inspected, and recorded. And then a batch number system should be implemented for traceability. And then for the weighing and measurement, the weighing should be carried out in specific locations using calibrated equipment with all operations recorded and double check it. And then for the processing, manufacturing procedures must follow written standard operating procedures with all process control recorded. And special attention should be paid to preventing cross-contamination and maintaining specific condition. And then the last one is the packaging lines should be inspected before operation with random samples checked during the process. And clear marking of lines is essential to prevent mix-ups. And then for the quality control, there are 4 important things here. The first one is the system implementation, where is the quality control system ensures products are made from correct materials in right quality and quantity under appropriate condition. And then for the testing and monitoring, there's like quality control includes sampling, inspection, and testing of materials and products at various stages, as well as environmental monitoring and stability studies. And then for reprocessing and returns, the method should be evaluated to ensure they don't affect product quality. Return products must be identified, stored separately, and retested before recirculation. And then the last one is for the documentation, where we records of all quality control activities, including test results and approvals or rejection, must be maintained.
The next is documentation system. There are 3 points of documentation system. The first one is a comprehensive record. The documentation system should include the history of each batch, from raw material to finished product, recording all activities and specific CPKB related matters. The second one is the document management. A system to prevent the use of expired document should be in place. Correction should be made in a way that preserves the original text. The third one is specification and production document. All the specification must be approved and validated. Production document include master documents and batch creation notes should contain detailed information about the product and the process. The next is internal audit. Internal audit assess and test aspect of production and quality control to improve the quality system. They can be conducted by external parties, professional auditors, or internal teams designed by management. The scope may extend to suppliers and contractors if necessary. Auditor reports should be prepared and properly documented at the completion of each internal audit activity. These audits are crucial for maintaining and ensuring the overall quality and compliance of the cosmetic manufacturing process.
And then for the next one, it is the storage and handling of cosmetic products. Actually, there's a lot of things that must be explained in the document, but I already make it into point to easiest understanding and memorizing. The first one is there's a dedicated storage area. It works to maintain separate, well-designed storage area for raw materials, intermediate products, finished goods, and quarantine items to prevent mix-up. And then the next one is environmental control. It is to provide temperature and humidity control environment as needed to ensure optimum storage condition and product stability. And the third one, it is receiving and shipping. It is to protect incoming and outgoing goods from weather evac and implement inspection and cleaning procedure for materials upon receipt. And the fourth one, it is inventory management. Meticulously record all product movement from receipt to issuance to maintain tight control over inventory levels and traceability. And the quarantine procedure, it is to isolate quarantine products in clearly demarcated area to prevent cross mix-up. And the next one, it is about the contract production and testing. Sorry. And there is 5 documents that need to be prepared during the contract production and testing. There's a contract document. It is include in detail specification, production process, and responsibility of each party must be outlined in the contract document. And the written agreement, it is like a formal written agreement clearly delineating the duties and accountability of the contracting party and contractee. And the next one, it is about the testing responsibility. And the contracting party retains final decision on test result, while the contractee implements the testing process. And the next one, there's a compliance with standards. This contract must ensure all production and testing adheres to established quality and safety standards. And the last one, it is monitoring and evaluation. The contracting party must closely supervise and evaluate the contract's implementation to ensure compliance.
And the last one is complaint handling and product recall. Handling of complaint is a systematic approach to addressing consumer complaint regarding the product issue. And the product recall is a necessary step and procedures for effectively managing the recall of products that are known or suspected to be problematic. So that's all for our group. Thank you very much for your attention. And wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.